Hello and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes. I'm Izzy.
I'm Raka and Raka bringing her back. But I'm not Raka Raka, whoever these guys are. But yes, if you don't know by now, we are reviewing the horror movie, the Australian supernatural horror flick, Bring Her Back. This movie is made and written, directed, the whole spiel by Danny and Michael Filippo.
And yeah, Filippo, who were famous for directing the oh geez, I forgot it right now. What the heck?
The sleeper hit, Talk to Me.
Yes, there you go. Talk to me. I'm like that with the hand. Yes, yes, talk to me. And this is their follow-up. So, which is pretty interesting. Fun fact before we get to this, they were in line to direct the latest or the newest version of the Street Fighter film, but decided against it to make this. I'd say
Now,
pretty damn good decision.
I agree. I mean, you have so many failed Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat movies. Why? I get it. There's a horror element and then there's a action element, but this seems to be their true bread and butter. Their environment. I thought they were also going to make Talk to Me 2
Yeah.
sequel. Maybe that's still on the table. Haven't heard. Because
Could
the first movie left off open ending.
yeah, but I mean, but I'm okay if they don't go back to it. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm okay too. I'm okay too.
not everything needs to be a sequel, not everything needs to be continued, not everything needs to, I mean, it could just end and whatever. So okay, real quickly, we'll give it a quick synopsis of the film, and then we'll dig in. Raka, take it away.
All right, so you have these step siblings.
Yes.
One is Piper, the younger one, and the older one is Andy. Andy's 17, and that's very pivotal. So they come home, and it's not in sequence, which is good because it doesn't have to be. But they come home and they find that the father had died in the shower, um, and they're distraught. You should know, and you know from the get-go, and I must say from the very beginning of the movie, there's horror from the get-go. You
Yeah.
gotta appreciate that. Piper is partially blind, mostly blind, and
Yeah.
she has this flickering eye thing, and she twitches, and she's a little odd.
It's crazy because
Um,
the actress actually is, you know,
yeah,
basically, it's essentially blind. Probably, I'd say, geez, what, maybe 80%? I don't even know because she mentions in the film that she can see like shape,
shapes
you
and
know.
shades,
Yeah.
but also fun fact, she has never acted before.
No, and for her not acting was pretty
Was
damn,
his debut?
you
Yeah.
pretty convincing. And to put her in in that situation, I mean, it's good. It was good.
So they find themselves now in the system,
Hmm.
and there's a lady, Laura, who is going to take them in. She's a counselor and everything. And I mean, this creepy from jump. You are introduced to this. Wow, it looks almost like a sacrificial, devil worshipping pedophilia act. And you go, what the hell is this? And I mean, it draws you in, it sucks you in, which is, hey, I'm a horror movie fan. I like slow burns when it's important, but when you could get right to it, I'm creeped out from jump. It was great. So she takes these two in, knowing there's baggage, but they don't realize there's baggage the other way too.
Yeah. More specifically, the thing is, Andy wants to be the caregiver or the guardian for Piper. He's 17 years old, needs to be 18 so he can actually be her guardian. So originally, Laura, right?
Laura,
Yeah, Laura did not only want a Piper, did not want the brother because it didn't want a male figure because she's had issues in the past before, supposedly. She agrees, and she takes them both in. Now already she's very, aware and very taken with Piper for you'll get to find out later on for obvious reasons. Now, Raka, I don't think that we should spoil. I think people need to want see this film. So we're going to dance and tiptoe as best possible to not really give away too much. The scene that Raka
Of
mentioned
this.
is a scene in the video that kind of is this body horror. It's pretty graphic, and then you have stuff shown, and you don't see the connection with what's going on in Laura's house until later on, where it all becomes clear.
Let me say a few things.
Go
All right, we'll
ahead.
play this game this way. Let me say a few things about the plot. And if I get too spoilery, I want you to say pineapple. Okay, that'll be the safe word. Okay? Say pineapple, you can say Beetlejuice too.
You did there, yes, pineapple.
But if you want to do pineapple, and then I will stop right there. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But the backdrop is Laura had lost her daughter
Yes,
and is never recovered, completely depleted. Her daughter was blind as well.
shocker.
And as it unfolds, and maybe it's not too much of a spoiler, but again, get ready to have that fruit word, okay? Pineapple word, be ready. Cock that pineapple, buddy. She wants to bring her back, her daughter, I mean.
Pineapple.
Okay, and we will stop there.
Okay. All right. Now, obviously, the title of the film,
Pretty obvious.
yeah, but it doesn't explain what's going on.
No,
But
yeah, and I will stop there. I won't go
and
into that.
well, besides the scene that we see that Raka mentioned, it's somewhat of a slow burn, and and all the while you're trying to figure out what's going on, and you're waiting for the other shoe to drop as to how it's going to turn, horrible. You know what I mean? For the
I agree and I disagree with you. It's a bit of a slow burn, but it's not without a few jump scares.
yeah,
And
no.
I think it maintains the creepiness.
Yes, it's a slow burn in the sense where nothing, like we're so used to nowadays
Horror.
with horror films, at least in the last 10, 15 years, for the most part, for them to be jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. This is more old school in the sense where it keeps the creep and the dread factor very high. You know, the momentum of that is level throughout the film until it gets bigger and crescendos too, where the climax of the film or where it really gets to the point you're like, even the biggest horror fan will be like, oh shit. And that is where it works. And that is what the brother
On
Filippo know what they're doing there.
on the same lines of what you just said, I appreciate greatly how they let the story unfold.
Yes.
And it's not so much of a 180 this and that. As the creepiness is slowly let out of the box, you get that mo metered and good in a good way, metered, oh shit moment, like, oh crap, oh, this is what's happening. Oh, and it gets deeper and more sinister and pretty twisted
Yeah.
and graphic, and then they build a lot of suspense, they build a lot of drama, and they do it the right way in my sense because it's like the perfect mix. Because if they hit you all at once in the middle of the movie,
It
it's gonna
would
hard.
exactly. And now I switch it to you. You let me know via pineapple whether or not I go a bit too far. Laura also has a son named Oliver. Okay. Now, Oliver, I mean, has a unique look, and I mean,
The understatement of the year.
yeah, and creepy as all heck. And there's a lot going on there. There's lots of layers going on there. All right. So, but yeah, he has a pivotal role in the film. How about that? Okay.
This movie does nothing to help the image of group homes. Not at all.
And look, and overall, the acting is pretty damn good. It's a smallish cast, and it's pretty much set in only a couple locations. So, I mean, but the creepiness factor, the way it was shot, the cinematography was excellent. There's some really creepy scenes that will stay with you that you're like, oh shit. And yeah, I mean,
Some
I
of those scenes
think it's
are,
a home run, this film.
yeah, because it doesn't look CGI. It looks like it's happening.
Yeah,
It's right in your face. It's not like the entire thing is all blurred out. It was fantastic. And again, tip my hat to the special effects people, to the director, to editing, to everybody, because it gets right into it. And you cringe at some of the mutilation. I'll leave it
yes, and the knife work.
at that. Getting close to the pineapple.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, no, bottom line is if you guys are fans of horror, fans of Talk to Me and stuff along the lines, yeah, you'll enjoy this for sure.
One thing, and again, we're going to dance around this pineapple field without actually dicing into the pineapple. How do you feel about the ending?
I like the
Was
ending.
it a home run?
I think it was a triple. How about that?
Ah, touche, pussycat. I like that.
All right.
I agree.
For all those who don't follow sports, a triple is just under one, you know.
And okay, so without mentioning anything about the spoiler ending, I tend to agree with you because in the darkness of it all, there is one beaming of light, ray of light.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not so sure if I was expecting that or I was cool with that. Um,
no, I think they
but
kind of. I would like to see if there is a director's cut. I mean, at least the way I think that it was going 90 miles an hour, and then they slightly, let up on the gas slightly.
yeah, because just because of that one ray light I mentioned, it ends on like a positive note.
Yeah, pineapple.
Okay. The only pineapple thing I would say on a personal level is if we're going horror, I want a smashing pumpkin.
You want a smashing pumpkin? You said.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. We're onto fruits today, so
Oh God, yeah, we are on to foods, but yes, definitely watch it. It's definitely on the short list of best horror films of the year. Heck, best films of the year so far, as we're already in June. So
which I gotta say, from the distributor point of view and everything, I'm quite disappointed. Um, A, that it's out now in summer, and B, it's not as widely distributed as I would have liked to. It
it's
went up against a lot of other hitters, hard hitters.
824. So I mean, they have their own. They're almost
Jen's
Yeah, and they almost have their freaking. I'm not gonna go as far as their pretentiousness, but they have their own.
swagger.
They know what they have, and they're not going to chase the BS around it. They're not gonna go and compete with, Fantastic Four, or they're not gonna. It's more of an art house type of thing that they know that everyone's gonna see it, and on
I
video
mean,
streaming whenever everyone's going to talk about it. And check this out. In a probably by the end of the year when it's on Netflix and everyone's talking about it, oh my God, how everyone is talking about Barbarian now, which was what, almost 2 years ago, because now it's number one on Netflix or top three, whatever the heck. It's gonna be one of those. Same thing when Talk to Me came out. Oh my God, have you seen this movie? Yes. I saw it when it came out,
right, and it came out like I want to say August.
So, and this movie is gonna be it's gonna follow suit. It's gonna, and it's gonna have its detractors because of the subject matter and
Oh no, I love it because the
you know
creepiness, the most horrific horror movies are because they touch upon our greatest fears.
people with families and
Oh, kids.
kids, yes, and I don't want to go too far, but will
Pineapple.
actually feel, will actually probably even take it even more to heart, about,
All right, so sticking with our fruit theme, to put the cherry on top, sir.
mm,
As of now, June 2025. My God, time flies. We're halfway through. Would you crown this the top horror movie of the year thus far?
I would have to think about it and really, but of the movies that came out this year, right now, off the top of my head, I would have to say it probably is for now. For now,
Of course, for now. And I would have to say
I have
it
no
is the
doubt
best.
it'll still be there, and we will talk about it again at the Dead Do End of Year Awards. You know, you could check out the last couple of years.
I I I am ready to crown it as the mid-year champ. Again, what it brought from creepiness from beginning to end, the way it was allowed to breathe, if you will, and play out. It had me, and it had such an even distribution of gore, jump scares, horror, heartfelt, gut-wrenching twists and turns. My heart was palpitating maybe a couple of times during the movie, like, oh man, this is happening. Oh shoot, don't open that door, blah blah blah.
Maybe at that time,
Huh?
maybe you should take your meds.
No, no, I intentionally don't take my meds when I watch these movies because I want to feel that. I want to feel the like I need to reach for the AED thing. And but that's just me. But yeah, this is a full-blown upside down pineapple cake. I really, really enjoyed it.
How many pineapple cakes is it out of 10?
I, Out of 10 pineapple cakes, I'm giving it an 8.5 with whipped cream, a cherry on top. And you know what? Don't eat with your hands. Eat with your don't hands behind your back.
You know what? I had given it in my quick review. I had given it an 8 after having had letting it marinate a little more in its pineapple juice. I'm going to probably lean towards an 8.5. Yeah, between
Wow,
8.
this is rare.
Well, yeah, yeah. You know what? Let's go for
This
it.
is rarefied air for Izzy. Because I mean, nobody gets 100 in his book. Holy cow! Yes.
You know, exactly. So that being said, check out Bring Her Back now in theaters. I do believe so in theaters. It should be. Let me see if I could, if I could do a quick search when it comes out on digital. Um, not sure, but it's still it's still out there. So check it out.
And again, Australian movie. I mean, I don't know what us in the US is doing to up our game. I mean, Sinners was very good, but a lot of the international market is making. What did we have?
Not to get
Where Evil Lurks was Argentinian.
yeah.
We've had again, Talk to Me. These guys, Australia.
Well, I mean, hey, I mean, but there were good films that last year that were American or at least. think were American. You had The Substance. You had which I'm not even sure if it was American to be honest. So let me not even get into that. Strange Darling. You had well, I mean, I don't want to get into the whole list, but yeah. The thing is, I think mainstream horror in the US, for the most part, it seems that they're afraid to push boundaries. I'm talking about mainstream horror. I'm talking about your your indie films, but stuff made from they don't want, and I'm not talking about a movie, your movies that you watch on Tubi and your Terrifiers and stuff like that, because I don't consider that still mainstream. It's not mainstream.
Yeah. But also, they're in love with the commercial aspect of it all, of running sequels into the dead into the ground. Final Destination 5,
But
Terrifier 3,
come on.
Halloween 19.
And you remember, we loved freaking the first one. We actually saw it. But nonetheless, please like, comment, subscribe, watch this film. What you guys thought, you know.
And bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back. Remember to always eat your pineapples and to save the world.
Exactly. Take care, everybody.